In this video, we'll walk through how to replace the group head cartridge heater. Please note that the cartridge heater replacement is not supported by Decent Espresso. The replacement involves crucial parts. If any damage occurred during the replacement, it won't be covered under warranty, and the full cost will be charged in case of repair. Here are the tools needed. First, we need to remove the power cord from the machine. For XL or XXL models, first remove the back panel and turn the machine's back switch off, and then unplug the power cord. For Pro and Plus models, turn the machine's back switch off, unplug the power cord. For version 1.43 or higher version machines, which has the slide type tablet stand, unplug the USB cable, pull the tablet stand out gently. And for version 1.3 to version 1.42 machines, which have the screw type tablet stand, unscrew the 3 screws holding the tablet stand, and then remove the stand. You need to remove the drip tray and drip tray cover, and lift the lever on the back of the machine and drag the water tank out and remove it. And remove the portafilter and group head handle as well. And now you need to remove the main cover. Use a T10 Torx screwdriver to remove the 8 screws on the main cover. Once all screws are out, gently stretch the sides of the cover and then lift it up off the machine. We need to remove the chassis that the manifold is mounted. If there are Torx T10 size screws, you need to use a Torx T10 screwdriver, or if you have Phillips head screws, you need to use PH2 size Phillips head screwdriver. Remove the 6 screws securing the chassis. We need to put the machine upside down to assess the screw holding the group head cover. Before that, place a cloth on the tabletop. Grab the middle back side of the leg with one hand, support the machine with the other hand while flipping it. And gently place it on the cloth. There are 5 screws on the bottom of the group head support. Use a T10 Torx screwdriver to unscrew them. Once each screw is loosened, use angled pointy tip tweezers to remove them. Once all 5 screws are removed, return the machine to its upright position. Place a cloth on the top of the manifold to rest the group head cover and GHC during the procedure. Lift the group head cover carefully to avoid damaging the cables underneath. We highly recommend wearing comfort grip gloves to protect your hands when you are touching the glass fiber insulation sheets. Lift the bottom insulation plate to assess the group head interior. There is a ground cable held with a T10 Torx or PH2 Phillips head screw on the brass water path insulator or WPI. Use the appropriate screwdriver to remove it. There is a washer between the screw and the top of the cable end. It may remain on the cable or come out with a screw. Keep it safe. There are 3 screws on the middle chassis. Older version machines with a 2-way ground cable have 3 flathead T10 Torx or PH2 screws. Newer version machines with a 3-way ground cable have 1 panhead screw for the ground cable and 2 flathead screws. Remove them using a T10 Torx or PH2 screwdriver. The screws may be tightly fastened. If so, press the screwdriver firmly into the screw head and apply steady pressure to turn it. Once it loosens, it should come out easily. Unplug the GHC cable from the connector on the board. Remove the chassis from the cover. Remove the middle and top insulation plates from the cover. For the top plate, use angled point tip tweezers to lift it from the edge, then gently remove it. Older version machines do not have a group head seal plate on the cover. Remove the 3 group head sensors from the manifold board using your fingers. You can use angled tweezers to assist if needed. Refer to the diagram showing which sensors to remove. Remove the group head heater cables from the group head water path insulator. There is a small latch button on the connector. Press and holding it using a T10 torqued screwdriver or your fingers while pulling the connector out. Remove the clips on the brown and black tube connectors using angled tweezers, then pull the tubes out. Unscrew the 4 4mm hex screws that hold the WPI and bayonet at the bottom of the group head using an appropriate screwdriver or Allen key. Hold the bayonet while removing the last screw, as it'll drop once all 4 screws are removed. You don't need to remove the screws from the WPI, just leave them in place. Remove the 4 4mm hex screws that secures the group head supports on the back side. Once the screws are removed, lift the WPI out of the group head support and gently slide the support out from the machine. Pull the sensor cables out through the group head hole in the front chassis. Remove the PH2 screw that holds the group head heater ground cable using an appropriate screwdriver. This will allow you to separate the WPI from the machine. Remove the screw from the ground cable ring terminal and keep it safe. The washer may come off with a screw. Keep it safe as well. Remove the screw holding the group head heater cable clamp plate using a PH2 screwdriver. Remove the clamp plate and black wire. Remove the red wire from the thermostat. Then pull the cartridge heater out of the water path insulator. Take a new cartridge heater and apply a thin, even layer of thermal grease over the entire metal surface using a cloth. Insert it into the water path insulator and wipe away any excess thermal grease that is pushed out during installation. Reconnect the red wire to the thermostat. Reseat the fuses into the grooves, then reinstall the cable clamp plate using a PH2 screwdriver. Install the group head heater ground cable using the PH2 screw. Place the WPI back into position on the group head support. Position the bayonet at the bottom and secure it with the 4 4mm hex screws. tighten the first 3 screws halfway, then fully tighten all 4 once the last screw is in place. Insert the group head support through the hole in the front panel and place it in position. Make sure the spacer on the mount is properly aligned while positioning the support. Once everything is aligned, secure the 4 screws. Reconnect the group head heater cables. For the black wire, roll back the sleeve on the connector and connect the exposed metal terminal to the plastic connector. Make sure the male spade terminal is properly seated in the female terminal. When you feel a click while pushing them together, the connection is secure. Then slide the sleeve back into the plastic connector. You may need flat tip tweezers to help push it in. For the red connector, roll back the sleeve, connect it to the male terminal, and then slide the sleeve back into place. Remove the O-rings remaining inside the brown and black tube connectors using angled tweezers. Slide new O-rings over the ends of the tubes and push them in until they reach the brass ring. Insert the tubes back into the connectors, pushing gently with a slight circular motion. Excessive force may damage the O-rings and cause leaks. Reinstall the clips in their slots to secure the tubes. Remove the O-rings remaining inside the brown and black tube connectors using angled tweezers. Slide new O-rings over the ends of the tubes and push them in until they reach the brass ring. Insert the tubes back into the connectors, pushing gently with a slight circular motion. Excessive force may damage the O-rings and cause leaks. Reinstall the clips in their slots to secure the tubes. Pass the sensor cables back through the group head hole in the chassis. Route them to the manifold board and reconnect them according to the diagram. Plug the sensors into the positions shown in the diagram. Reinstall the insulation plate. When correctly positioned, the rectangular hole should align near the bottom right hole of the cover. Feed the other 2 ends of the ground cable through the rectangular hole in the top insulation plate. Do the same with the middle insulation plate. Orient the chassis correctly. The side with the 3 grooves near the cover screw mount should face the top when installing. Feed the ground cables through the center hole in the chassis. You can move the GHC cable from the side to adjust the length for easier installation. and feed the GHC cable from the group head through the chassis, middle insulation plate, and top insulation plate. Plug the GHC cable into the connector on the GHC board. The exposed side of the cable connector should face the top or open side of the board connector. Push until there is no gap between the cable end and the connector. Align the 3 raised screw holes in the group head cover with the 3 holes in the top and bottom insulation plate. Push the plates into position carefully. Be cautious not to pull out the GHC cable. Place the chassis on top. Align the 3 screw holes. Reinstall the screws. If you have newer version machine, use the panhead screw to secure the shorter ground cable at the top. Tighten the first 2 screws halfway, then fully tighten all 3 after confirming proper alignment. Feed the remaining ground cable through the hole in the bottom insulation plate. Secure it with the panhead screw, making sure the washer is between the screw and the cable end. Organize the insulation plates and cables. Make sure the ground cable is not caught between the metal edges of the group head. Place it within the bottom insulation plate area. Slightly tilt the group head backward. Insert a protruding part of the chassis on the back of the cover into the group head hole on the front panel. Close the group head. Place a cloth to support the group head and flip the machine upside down. Use a cloth of appropriate thickness to support the group head evenly. If the cloth is too thin, fold it to increase the thickness. Insert all 5 screws into their holes. Start with top left or top right screw. You may need to adjust the angle of the group head cover for the screw to catch the thread. Tighten the first 4 screws halfway to allow for angle adjustment. Once everything is aligned, fully tighten all 5 screws.